The Friends cast just got exposed, and what they've been doing with their money will absolutely shock you. I'm talking about a level of wealth so calculated, so precisely engineered, that most people have absolutely no idea it even exists. And when I tell you the full story of how these 6 people turned a sitcom about coffee shops and cheap apartments into one of the greatest financial operations in television history, you are going to lose your mind. But before we get into all that, let me break down this entire situation from the beginning, because this is where it gets absolutely insane. Alright, so first things first, Friends premiered on NBC on September 22, 1994. 6 main cast members: Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, Lisa Kudrow, Matt LeBlanc, Matthew Perry, and David Schwimmer. And here's the thing most people don't know. They were not equals on paper when this whole thing started. Some had more experience. Some had more leverage. The network knew that. The studio knew that. And in season 1, every cast member was earning $22,500 per episode, according to Celebrity Net Worth. And then these 6 people did something that nobody in television had ever done before at that scale. They decided to negotiate together. Now let me tell you why that matters. Because in Hollywood, the standard playbook is divide and conquer. Studios negotiate with each actor individually. They create information gaps. They play agents against each other. They keep everyone slightly uncertain, slightly competitive, slightly desperate. It is a system designed entirely to keep the power on one side of the table. The Friends cast flipped that table completely. And here's how it actually happened. According to Matthew Perry's 2022 memoir, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing, it was David Schwimmer who made the first move. Schwimmer, who was considered the biggest star of the show at the time because of the Ross and Rachel storyline, approached his castmates and proposed they all negotiate as a single unit. He even asked Aniston to take a smaller raise so everyone could be equal. Perry wrote in his memoir that he owed Schwimmer approximately $30 million for that decision. And let me tell you, that sounds simple when you say it out loud, but it requires a level of trust between 6 people whose individual financial interests could have pulled them in completely different directions. Most people in that situation would have broken ranks. Not these 6. It worked. And here's where it gets absolutely crazy. According to Entertainment Weekly's reporting, by season 3, each cast member was earning $75,000 per episode. Season 4 brought that number to $85,000 per Celebrity Net Worth. Season 5 climbed to $100,000. Season 6 reached $125,000. And then season 7 and 8 paid each cast member a staggering $750,000 per episode, according to Entertainment Weekly. And then, in February 2002, they made history. Each of the 6 cast members began earning exactly $1 million per episode for seasons 9 and 10. According to Parade magazine, this made Aniston, Cox, and Kudrow the highest-paid women on television at that time. Season 9 had 24 episodes. Season 10 had 17 episodes. That means, according to Celebrity Net Worth, each cast member took home $41 million in salary alone from just those final 2 seasons. $1 million per episode, each, 6 of them. But wait, it gets wilder. Because the salary was not even the most important financial thing that happened to these people. So get this. The cast had negotiated a back-end participation deal. Each of them owns 2% of syndication revenue from the show. That is something most television actors never come close to obtaining. And according to a USA Today report from February 27, 2015, Friends was at that point still generating $1 billion a year in revenue for Warner Brothers. Do the math. 2% of $1 billion, divided 6 ways. According to Fox Business, citing reporting from Marketplace, each cast member was earning approximately $20 million per year in Friends residuals as of 2018, each, while sitting at home, while doing absolutely nothing related to the show. Let me tell you, that is what real generational wealth looks like. Not a big paycheck, a paycheck that never stops coming. And then the streaming era hit, and this machine shifted into a completely different gear. According to the New York Times, Netflix paid $100 million for the rights to stream Friends in the United States through 2019 alone. That was more than triple the $30 million per year Netflix had previously been paying for the series. The demand from subscribers was so enormous that Netflix was willing to spend that kind of money simply to keep it on their platform for one additional year. And then Warner Media came in and outbid them entirely. According to the Wall Street Journal, Warner Media paid $425 million to carry Friends for 5 years, starting in 2020, making it an anchor title for the launch of HBO Max. The deal was announced July 9, 2019. Not $100 million, $425 million. For a show about 6 people in a New York apartment that finished filming in 2004. Now let me break down what each of these people actually did with all of this, because this is where it gets absolutely fascinating. Jennifer Aniston became the most commercially dominant cast member by a significant margin. In January 2012, according to Realtor.com records, she purchased an 8,500 square foot mid-century modern estate in Bel Air, Los Angeles, for $21 million. The property, designed in 1965 by architect A. Quincy Jones, sits on 3 acres with 300-degree views of the city and ocean. She launched her production company, Echo Films. She built a film career that consistently opened at the box office. According to Celebrity Net Worth, her net worth today is estimated at approximately $320 million. Courtney Cox moved heavily into production after Friends, founding Coquette Productions, which she used to produce projects including the Cougar Town series she starred in afterward. She has bought and sold multiple high-value Malibu properties over the years, with a consistency that looks far more like a deliberate investment strategy than casual celebrity home purchasing. According to Celebrity Net Worth, her net worth is estimated at approximately $150 million. Now let me tell you about Lisa Kudrow, because this one will absolutely shock you. Most people think of Phoebe and they think sweet ditzy, playing guitar in a coffee shop. But what Kudrow actually built after Friends is one of the most quietly impressive creative operations of any cast member. She created, wrote, executive produced, and starred in The Comeback on HBO, a sophisticated piece of industry satire that showed creative ambition most actors simply do not pursue. She also executive produced the genealogy series Who Do You Think You Are for NBC, which ran for multiple seasons. According to Celebrity Net Worth, her net worth is estimated at approximately $90 million. Matt LeBlanc launched the Joey spin-off after Friends, which ran for 2 seasons from 2004 to 2006. He then found a completely different second act, starring in the Showtime comedy episodes for 5 seasons from 2011 to 2017, earning a Golden Globe Award in the process. He hosted the relaunched Top Gear on BBC from 2016 to 2019. According to Celebrity Net Worth, his net worth is estimated at approximately $80 million. David Schwimmer, the man Perry credited in his memoir with making the entire $1 million per episode deal possible, moved deliberately toward directing and theater after Friends ended. He appeared in American Crime Story, The People vs. O.J. Simpson in 2016, where his portrayal of Robert Kardashian was widely praised by critics. According to Celebrity Net Worth, his net worth is estimated at approximately $85 million. And then there is Matthew Perry. Let me tell you, this part of the story is impossible to tell without stopping for a moment. Matthew Perry spent much of the years after Friends fighting addiction to alcohol and prescription medications. He wrote about it with extraordinary honesty in his memoir, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing, published in October 2022. In a 2022 interview with the New York Times, he revealed he had spent approximately $9 million on his attempts to get sober. He described periods of near-complete incapacitation. He described the surreal experience of being one of the most recognizable people on Earth, while simultaneously being unable to function. He died on October 28, 2023, at the age of 54. He was found at his home in the Pacific Palisades area of Los Angeles. The official cause of death, determined by autopsy, was the acute effects of ketamine. His memoir, published less than a year before his death, is one of the most unflinching accounts of addiction ever written by a public figure. According to Celebrity Net Worth, his estate was estimated at approximately $120 million at the time of his death. Court filings revealed the beneficiaries of his trust were his father, John Perry, his mother, Suzanne Morrison, his half-sister, Caitlin Morrison, and his former girlfriend, Rachel Dunn. The Friends reunion special that aired on HBO Max on May 27, 2021, brought all 6 cast members together for the first time since the 2004 finale. According to The Hollywood Reporter, each cast member earned between $2.5 million and $3 million for appearing in the special. And watching it now, knowing what Perry was carrying at that point, knowing what was coming, it hits completely differently. So here's where we are at right now. These 6 people started at $22,500 per episode in 1994. By 2002, they were at $1 million per episode each. They negotiated as one unit when nobody does that. They secured 2% syndication deals when nobody gets those. Warner Brothers earns $1 billion annually from the show, according to USA Today's 2015 reporting, and 2% of that goes to each of the 6 cast members, meaning each of them earns approximately $20 million per year from a show that stopped filming over 20 years ago. Netflix paid $100 million for 1 year of streaming rights. HBO Max paid $425 million for 5 years. The asset they built between 1994 and 2004 keeps appreciating in value every single year. Let me tell you, most people work their entire lives and build nothing like that. These 6 people figured it out before they were 40. And whether you discovered Friends on NBC on Thursday nights, on Netflix at 2 a.m. in college, or on whatever streaming platform you use right now, you contributed to that machine. Every rewatch, every recommendation, every time someone puts it on as background noise, all of it keeps paying them. And that, more than any house or car or vacation, is the real lavish lifestyle of the Friends cast. A financial architecture so precisely constructed that it operates completely independently of whether any of them ever work again. So, what do you think? Did they figure out something everyone else missed? Did they deserve every dollar? Let me know in the comments. Hit that like button and subscribe because we are just getting started. More stories like this are coming, and trust me, you are going to want to be here for all of it.